Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando. That's Corey. This is Kiss the Reviews. This month, we are doing our horror movie month for October. We are starting with 2001's Jeepers Creepers. And before we get started, Corey, do we have any advertisers this week?
Yes, sir, we do. This week, Kiss the Reviews is sponsored by John Mason's Rock Tours. Do you want to see Alcatraz like a winner? Well, sign up immediately for John Mason's The Rock Tour. For the low price of a fully fueled underwater Sea-Doo and the $200 in your hotel safe, John will show you Alcatraz like no other tour has before. You'll swim, you'll roll through an unnecessary fountain of fire, possibly be murdered by AWOL treasonous Marines, and maybe even spend some time in a jail cell, assuming you survive all the rest of it. Don't forget to visit our gift shop for your complimentary microfiche of all of America's secrets. So fuck the prom queen and sign up online today for John Mason's The Rock Tours.
Because winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
They do indeed.
All right, let's get into Jeepers Creepers. I didn't have any horror movie shirts, so I got my Metallica shirt.
Dig it.
And Justice for All, which was like the creepiest thing that I had. I think besides like my Korn t-shirts. But
well, some new Metallica's pretty gross and scary.
Yeah, it is. But I will be ordering some from our friends over at Fright Rags. So
yes, sir.
Hopefully I'll get some before the end of the month, and I'll be rocking those this month. But
samesies, because I'm in like my Skull t-shirt. And that's literally the only thing I have is this hipster ass shirt. So
yeah, I thought you were
like whatever.
I thought you were getting ready to go to work. I don't know. You had a collar on.
I am going to work, Chief. Right here, right now.
This movie stars Gina Phillips as Trish, Justin Long, who does a great job as Derry, and Jonathan Breck as the Creeper. What says IMDb as far as descriptions go?
A brother and sister driving home through isolated countryside for spring break encounter a flesh-eating creature which is in the midst of its ritualistic eating spree.
Dig it?
I like that it says eating spree instead of killing spree.
Yes. Because
they take a really long time to get to that point.
It's a slow burn as far as you got to wait for the psychic to show up at the police station to basically understand what's going on.
Madam Exposition. She looks into her crystal ball and tells you exactly the point of this movie.
Exactly.
That's all you get.
Yep. Giselle Gay Hartman is her character in this. Mm-hmm. Giselle, get the fuck out of here. Leave them kids alone.
Yeah. Which is just a hollow threat, by the way, because he immediately turns around and lets her talk and say whatever she wants to.
Exactly.
To the traumatized children.
So they're driving back on spring break. Justin Long, by the way, I can't go much longer without saying he does a great job in this movie. Like, Justin Long is a comedic actor.
Yes.
And at least from everything I've seen him in, it's only been in comedy stuff. He does a fantastic job in this. But I have a couple of questions. So one, they're driving along. They get the truck. Fantastic, by the way. You get the horn, the honk. It comes up on them. It starts crashing into them and, basically runs them off the road. And this is after they drive by the church and they see him dumping bodies down the big pipe.
Yep. They see him once. And all he does is run them off the road. Then the second time, they see him dumping the bodies.
Yes.
And decide that's when Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys need to go into full effect.
Exactly. So, and he's got the license plate, be eating you, or beating you, as it said in the beginning. I have a question about this. Did he get the truck registered at the DMV?
Does he have to go get his tags?
Like, when they see his face and go, man,
oh my God,
you look like some sort of like creepy fish monster.
Right?
But
I'm going to introduce you to this deaf girl, and she'll probably hook up with you. She's into fish monsters. I don't know what it is.
Neither here nor there.
Just in case you haven't seen The Shape of Water.
So first, why do they go back to the church after he runs you off the road?
Oh, because they're really dumb.
Yes. So the sister in all this seems to be the for I mean she goes along with Justin Long's hijinks, but she seems to be the smarter one in all this because she's like, I don't give a shit. Let's get out of here. And he gets her with the, well, what if it was you?
And I still don't understand that. Like, I still want you to call the cops because that's the big debate they're having is
yes.
whether to call the cops or go back and see themselves because somebody could still be alive.
Yes. And they could save them before the guy comes back. But here's the thing. You are ill-equipped for, if it's just, they don't know that it's like Monster Mania Day in this rural town. So they just think it's a guy.
Yep.
If it was
and
just,
you're still ill-equipped.
If it's just a guy, you're ill-equipped to deal with him coming back. So
you saw this guy pick up a body over his shoulder and literally just throw it down a chute.
Yes.
Like it was nothing.
And his sister even says, Derry's sister says, you don't want to be that person in the scary movie who investigates shit. Like, as he's going down the tube. And I'm like, yeah, you don't want to be that person in the scary movie. Can you guys get the fuck on out of there? Like,
well, here's a hint and a half for your ass that you should not be down there in the first, like even remotely close to going back to this house. Is Derry's looking down the chute head first. His sister's holding his legs, and rats start coming up, and Derry kicks and screams like he's on fire. If that is your reaction to a rat, and I'm not belittling you because I would have the exact same reaction.
I would have a similar one.
If that is your reaction to 2 or 3 rats coming up a sewer pipe at you, you are not capable or psychologically prepared to handle seeing A, a dead body, B, a tortured body that's still alive, or C, duel with a serial killer.
Exactly.
End of movie.
Exactly.
You need to go on. And then Derry's little ass has the balls to blame his sister. Well, the rats were coming at me too, Trish. Motherfucker, how about don't kick?
So why go into the pipe? They get to the restaurant, the little cafe thing. I need to know, again, how much of a time frame has elapsed between the church. Like, how many miles between the cafe and this church? Because it seems like it's really close, but it also seems like it's really far.
And
because
he's down there for a very long time looking at the basement of bodies that are lining the walls.
Exactly.
Which, by the way, sexist note, did you notice that none of the guys had a dick, but all of the girls' bush was just...
I'll be honest, didn't notice.
Because I was looking at the bodies like, wow, because they looked like... It was like, damn, they like really look like bodies.
Yeah.
And then there was a couple shots where they looked like Barbie dolls.
Yeah.
And then there was just like, wait a second. They ain't a dick in this thing, but there are tits and ass just everywhere.
Oh, plenty.
Yeah, so I mean, you don't have to be an asshole. Throw a dick in every now and again. It's here anyway.
I didn't even see that. So they go to this thing because the gas says they're close to E or past E.
Yep.
So it has to be close enough for them to get there.
Yes.
Once they get there, and these people in the cafe or the diner, look at them. Now they look I don't know how could we, disheveled, to say the least.
Yeah, well, Derry looks like he's totally losing his mind.
Derry looked like he got mugged by Freddy Krueger. Okay.
Yeah, Derry just got back from Nam, and basically his sister just rolled in on whatever. She's cool.
They looked at him like, why are you even here?
Right.
And I'm like, now one person was like, hey, dude, you okay? You look fucked up.
Even the waitress, when they're like, we need to call the police, the waitress is like,
yeah, they're all
gives him shit.
Yeah, they're all kind of assholes until they see the guy / creature, the creeper, sniffing all their clothes.
Looked like he was liking it too.
The best part about that was that line, And Justin Long's picking up his laundry like around the car, and he looks at his underwear and it's got his name on his underwear, and he was like, and now he even knows my name. I don't know why that struck me as super funny, but I thought that was hilarious.
Well, that's one of the key lessons of this movie is do your laundry.
Yeah, exactly. And don't
do
write
your laundry,
name.
and you got no problem, man. He's going to go after Fresh Scent or Ocean Breeze or whatever shit you're using.
Exactly.
He ain't coming after you.
And don't write your name in your underwear.
Well, you really shouldn't be doing that anyway.
I'm just saying. You are in college, so.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Exercise some maturity. Don't write your name in underwear. Don't look down tubes you think serial killers are dumping bodies in.
Yeah. And
just call the police. Always.
Exactly.
Please.
So the cops get there. They explain what's going on. They're heading back to the church. Why do the cops have the kids lead them in a separate car? That's one. The cops from that town, these guys are cops from this town, right? They get a call on the radio that says, are you sure they're not pyros? Because this whole thing's up in flames. So apparently the creeper went back, lit the whole church and everything on fire. Which, just to let you know, you can still detect bodies after a fire.
Well, especially when there's about, 800?
Yeah, so...
just lining walls.
But they should know where the old abandoned church is.
Mm-hmm.
So why even have and this goes back to a lot of other movies, that you have the victims following along in the investigation of...
Not even following along, taking a lead.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm going to show you how to investigate things.
Exactly. Here's the other thing. So the creeper comes in, which is a great scene, on top of the cop car, pulls the one cop out, cuts the other dude's head off.
The first time that you actually find out that it's a monster, not just a serial killer you're dealing.
You actually see his face for the first time.
Yep.
Derry gets out of the car, and this is going to be an ongoing thing with horror movies, because I've noticed this in dramas, in comedies, and horror movies. Why, when people see a pool of blood, do they touch it and rub it on their fingers just to make sure? I've never even touched blood, to be perfectly honest. So even if I saw a little pool of maroon red, I'm gonna assume that that's blood. I'm not gonna go, feels thick like blood. I'm not gonna do that.
And I'm probably walking the opposite way.
Exactly. And
call me a coward, whatever you want. I'm not trying to be a goddamn superhero.
Yes.
That's insane.
So that was my one question. Why do people always have to touch blood to make sure that it's blood? I'm just leaving. That's what I'm doing.
No, simple.
And one of my last questions, serious questions about the makeup of this movie, is why does Derry's sister, Trish, buy a stick shift? Because she obviously does not know how to drive a stick shift. She's like, the gears are sticking. I'm like, that's not how that works.
Yeah,
it's first, second, third.
The gears are sticking because you're not working the clutch. Push the clutch in, and the gear won't be sticking.
I do respect the fact that they didn't go to the old, the car won't start. It's 2019. Movies that are coming out now still have the car won't start thing. Mm-hmm. That's not how cars work nowadays.
No, it's hard to not have a car start.
If you have an old car, cool. But it's got to be from the 70s. It can't be from 89 and on.
And it needs to be beat up. You can't be doing just
exactly
90 the whole movie, and then all of a sudden at the most important moment, you cannot start your car.
Exactly. So I respect the fact that they used the stick issue versus the car won't start issue.
Right.
Because that always bothers me. And the fact that people turn off their cars when they're just stopping to check something out real quick, and they get out of leave your car running. Let's just do that.
Well, yeah.
But that being said, I don't know why she bought a stick shift, and why she bought I don't even know what it was, a 1957 something or other.
I have no idea what that Buick. I think it was a Buick.
It might have been.
It was both though. And I do like the fact. I'm hoping that they picked that kind of car so it couldn't outmaneuver the truck so easily. Because that seemed to be one of the things I noticed was the truck was making it a fair fight.
Yeah.
That car size was making it a fair fight with the truck, which lent to some of the appeal. My two bigger points are they make a point throughout the beginning of the movie to show that Derry and his sister, Trish?
Yeah.
Have a very close connect. Like, they are very close. They have inside games. They play 3 or 4 different games that are very much their games.
Yep.
Like, you said butt and ass, that's the same thing. You lose. And license plate game, and they do something else. So they're very, very close to one another.
Yes.
Yet when the shit hits the fan, they communicate not at all. half of Trish's lines are, Derry, tell me what's going on.
Yes.
And he won't say shit. Even when he's talking to the psychic, he's trying to push her away.
Well, I think...
And it's like, you guys need to communicate a little bit better, and possibly, maybe you get out of this alive.
I think he's just he's just in shock. I think that's his thing. But it does continue. Like, when they're in the restaurant, when they're in the diner, I'll give the shock thing. But after that, like...
Yeah, the second he starts talking to other people, you have no other excuse to keep your sister in the dark. Like, she's in it with you, bro. You got to provide some info.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying. I also, again, Madam Exposition, our psychic, she spends more time, a couple points on her. One, she spends more time trying to be dramatic than just telling people, like, yo, dude, you're fucked up. Like, you're about to die. You need to bolt now.
Yes.
No fuck. Like, stop messing with the cops. Stop doing this. Run. Not, have you seen the cats yet, Darren? I've seen you with cats. My lord, I've seen you with cats. And that's the other thing is... It's so annoying, right? Like, why are you speaking to me in riddles if I'm about to die?
Yeah.
I don't have time to solve your puzzle games.
Yes, exactly.
Let's just get to the part where you save me. But Madam Exposition, and I don't know if this was the director's choice, the writer, an actor, but at one point I'm watching this, and I'm like, dude, like, they are making the sole black character in this movie speak like a mammy. Nobody else is speaking like an asshole, hillbilly, redneck, down south bumpkin.
Well,
nobody else does that.
The lead sheriff kind of does.
Not to the point where he's completely uneducated. Half of what this psychic woman is saying
you're right.
Is bad.
Yeah.
It's like blatantly stereotyped. It's just like, Jesus Christ. And I'm not one of those guys.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, oh, racist, shame, shame. But this was bad.
Yeah, no.
She is like the only person in this movie that has a 4th grade education.
I'll agree with that.
And she spends the entire movie, Madam Exposition, again, explaining everything and talking and talking and talking. And finally they get to the end of the movie. And Trish says something to the psychic, like, did you see all this coming? You know, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, I'm just a crazy old lady. Ask anybody. I'm just a crazy old lady. You've been trying to prove to people the entire movie that you are a real psychic that can help people. And it's come to an end. You're like, nope, don't ask me questions. I'm just a crazy old lady. Just a crazy old lady. Ask anyone.
She's a shitty character, and it's proven because the creeper, when he's in the police station, smells her and goes, nope, nothing for me here, and leaves her alone.
You don't want the psychic's eyes? You want little ass Derry's eyes with the rose tattoo on his belly button? You don't want the psychic eyes?
Can we talk about the rose tattoo above the belly button?
Which serves zero purpose other than Madam Exposition trying to prove she's psychic.
Yeah, you got a rip above your rose tattoo on your belly button.
Put the rose tattoo on your elbow. Put it on your calf. Literally put it anywhere but around your belly button, like you're an 18-year-old girl on spring break.
That's
absurd.
If any of my friends took off their shirt, like we were going swimming, and they're like, oh yeah, they took off their shirt, and they had a rose tattoo on top of their belly button, I'd be like, "Fuck's that all about, bud?"
Dude, if Axl Rose had that tattoo, I'd be like, "What the fuck's that all about, bro?"
Dude, it's arm, it's like forearm on the side arm, not above the belly button.
And if you weren't really of age in 2001 and think, oh, maybe that was a thing like tribal tattoos or barbed wire, it wasn't.
No, I would have even given him a rose tramp stamp if that was the case. Like, because at least tramp stamps were a thing.
Yeah, and sometimes, guys got drunk and made their buddies fucking get tramp stamps off of beds.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
It never happened. Just saying, I've heard that's happened.
I've heard that's a thing.
I can't believe you brought up tramp stamps.
But all in all, dude, this movie, I think was really good, even up to and including the police station. Like, here's the other thing about some horror movies. Mm-hmm. Like this one is a slow burn to find out what the creeper really is.
Correct.
But the payoff is awesome if you've never seen it.
Yes.
And all the way and up to the only issue that I had as far as people running from the creeper, like the old lady with the cats, like that scene's great. But then the whole like running them over scene, there's a couple of questionable things. You gotta.
Well, when you're running him over, his head's intact, his ankles are flat. Aim for the head. If you are ever being chased by a psycho monster who wants to literally eat part of you so it can absorb you,
well, they don't know that yet.
Over its head.
They don't know that yet.
You're running it over. I don't care what it is. If something wants to kill you and you have that opportunity to escape, aim for this part.
Well,
not the ankle.
That I don't even have a problem with that. The main part that I have the issue with is they run at him.
Yep.
And he jumps up and he runs over the top of the car. And then they back up and he runs over the top of the car. And then they go at him again. Does he slip? Is he like, oh, I'm going to do it again? Oh, yeah. My bad.
Oh, he pulled a hammy. He's not stretching very much. He's only flying, really.
Exactly.
He pulled a hammy.
He had to eat dairy for his hammies and his eyes. So
make sure to take care of your muscles, kids.
I get it. Drink your milk.
That's right.
But yeah, so like that, and then even at the police station, when they're getting chased through the police station, it's believable. When they get to the back door, and it's like, oh, it's locked because they're on lockdown, the power. There's a lot of times, like in those situations in horror movies, I'm like, oh, how convenient. But that actually made sense. The only thing that doesn't make sense is at the very end where the creepers got Justin Long. I think half of the room of police officers have a shot at this guy.
Oh, he's like got Justin Long over there. He's not holding him in as like a shield.
Yes.
He's got him over like this so he can show off like his flaring tentacles.
Yeah.
And if you learned anything from any monster movie, when it flares, that's when you shoot it.
It's its most vulnerable.
Yeah.
So the guys that are in the double-sided glass that's been broken out, they don't really have a shot because that's where Derry is. But the guys that come through the front door of the room, every single one of them has a shot, and they all have like M16s.
Yes. Some of them very clearly have never held a weapon before of any kind. But whatever.
But yeah,
and they also do they all lift their shield. This is one of my favorite parts. I started pissing my pants. They all lift their shields like there's something on their shield that's making a regular human being look like a giant fat lizard monster.
Well, they don't know.
Like, whoa, I can't believe it wasn't the shield. Holy shit. Take the shot, homeboys. Quit being there in fucking awe.
Like somebody put a sticker over their shield.
Like, oh shit, Tommy got me again. Oh, no, he didn't. I better kill him.
But yeah, all in all, and what I really loved about this is there isn't a happy ending. Like, you don't.
Well, there is for Trish.
Well, there is for Trish, but.
And let me tell you something. Well, go ahead. I'll make my point after this.
But most movies, it's like the mean man at the end gets his and he gets killed. This dude, the creeper, just goes, you know what? I'm taking Derry. Peace out. I'll see you guys later.
Yeah,
deuces. And then the next scene is Trish. Her parents finally get there, and they're there to pick her up. And of course, Psychic Lady's like, "Sorry, I wasn't any help. Your parents are here to pick you up."
Why is she the one to tell people about her parents?
I don't know. And then cut to his like creepy lair, and Justin Long's eyes are popped out, and his eyes are in there, end scene and roll credits. But I like that it wasn't a happy ending where like the monster gets his. Like
that's how a horror movie should go.
Yeah.
You should have a real sense of loss because you're taking on something far stronger and clearly smarter than any of you.
Yeah.
So it should win.
Yep, absolutely.
My theory behind this is because the psychic, Madam Exposition, makes a very clear point to say throughout the movie that he's feeding on fear. He smells your fear. The more scared you are, the more it kind of makes him hungry, turns him on, and he goes into get you.
Yeah.
That's how he finds out.
He's going to get you.
He's going to get you. So Trish, at the end, keeps telling the monster, "I'm stronger. Take me. I'm the one you want. I'm stronger." And he doesn't take her because she's not afraid.
Yeah.
She's prepared to die for her brother. Right?
Yeah.
That bitch knew. She knew exactly what to say. You're telling me you hear this thing feeds on fear, and your line to the creature that feeds on fear is, "I'm stronger, you know you want me." Prick, you better think again. I know exactly what you were playing at.
Oh.
And you know what I say to Trish? Good for you.
Touche.
If Harry would have communicated with you at all, you guys could have solved this problem a lot earlier.
Exactly.
He got what he deserved. You win, Trish. Congratulations.
I dig it. Touche. Touche to
Tore it
you.
up.
All right. Well, that's all I have. Does it stand the test of time? Do you still like
100%.
it? Me too. Me too. I still love this movie. Still love it.
Here's the insane thing about this movie. And I get it, it's a horror movie, so it's more genre.
Yeah.
Only 6.2 out of 10 on IMDb. Armageddon is ranked higher. Face Off is ranked higher than Jeepers Creepers.
That's because people are stupid.
Yes.
Like this, and again, because it's a horror science fiction kind of movie.
Sure.
This had less scientific questions to me than a movie like Armageddon did.
Yep.
So there you have it.
Yeah, they didn't even play science because none of them were scientists. That's how you avoid that problem altogether.
Exactly.
And it was well done. Loved it. Will always love it. Madam Exposition pisses me off every time.
Yeah, but it was well shot too.
Yes. Madam Exposition is more of an antagonist than a protagonist in this.
I'd agree with that. Yeah. And I like
she causes a lot of problems.
I like that it's not Giselle Gay Hartman. You call her Madam Exposition. That's the best name, and I think they should change her name in this movie moving forward.
Appreciate that.
In the credits on IMDb and everywhere else, her name should be Madam Exposition.
Yep. Agree 100%.
All right. Anything else on the movie?
I got nothing, man. If you're into horror movies, check this one out if you haven't seen it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So for Corey, I'm Armando.
You'll figure it out one day, bro.
This is Kiss the Reviews. Thanks for coming in, and we'll see you next week.